Hello everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday edition of Video Clips, and just a few announcements to start the week out. First of all, September 17th, tomorrow, we will be posting a video on the members website called Exercise with Chris, my top 3 abdominal exercises. And if you haven't watched Chris's exercise videos, they're really marvelous. You learn a lot about the right way to work out and all that sort of thing. So I highly suggest that you take advantage of that if you're a member. The other thing I want to talk about, fall conference, November 14th through 16th. You definitely want to be here. And we've added some great workshops. I'm going to do a workshop on Friday afternoon of the conference before the actual big sessions start. It's a health training for healthcare professionals to teach better communication skills, presentation skills, coaching, teaching, so that you can be more effective in delivering your message, get more people to want to be your clients, and get on board with eating the right diet and taking care of themselves. And then Dell is going to do a food over medicine cooking certification program on Sunday afternoon. So, and we're offering them really cheap. I mean, mine's normally $149 per person. I'm doing it for $20. Dell is $99 a person, doing it for $20. So you can tack those on to your conference trip and really benefit from coming here for a few days, in addition to all the good food and all the great workshops that we do in the big session. So anyway, mark your calendar for that, and hopefully a lot of you will be joining us. Okay, I have a couple of topics to talk about today, one of which is the World Health Organization recommends that adults eat 5 servings of fruit and vegetables every day. I mean, this is hardly a tall ask, and it's amazing, but internationally, a new study shows that between 60 and 87% of adults worldwide don't even do that. 5 servings of fruit and vegetable a day. I guess everybody's too busy eating animal foods and potato chips. But anyway, the researchers expressed concern about this, of course, because fruit and vegetables are an important source of phytonutrients, and obviously people aren't taking in enough. And I think this is a major issue. You know, when we talk about changing the diet, we take animal foods out of the diet because we know that animal protein is a powerful cancer promoter and all that sort of thing. However, when we eat animal foods and junk foods, we don't get enough foods in the diet that have protective nutrients like fruit and vegetables, which have important phytonutrients that are protective for your health. Well, anyway, back to this study. The data were drawn from the World Health Survey combined with information on the availability of fruit and vegetables in various geographic regions, which has been proven to correlate with intake patterns. The researchers then used a database of fruit and vegetables and their phytonutrient content to come up with what people should be eating and show the disconnect. Now, the study was funded by a supplement manufacturer, so it's not surprising that it included a lot of data about the magical properties of certain nutrients found in fruit and vegetables and that sort of thing, but the bottom line is the same. People do not eat enough fruit and vegetables. And the combined economies in the world don't have enough money to take care of this in terms of the economics of the sickness that this type of eating pattern results in. So those of us who are eating a plant-based diet, we can show other people how to easily get enough fruits and vegetables in. I mean, I don't know how many servings I eat every day, but it has to be dozens. And so this is not hard to do when you're eating the right dietary pattern. It's also not expensive to do. It's actually cheaper to eat this way. So anyway, if we can convince more people, it's the key to saving the human race from destruction from its own eating habits and the planet and our collective economies. All right, the other thing I want to talk about is weight and cancer. And I'll just start by saying a major frustration that I think a lot of us in clinical practice face on a regular basis is how do you motivate people who aren't critically ill to pay attention to their health? And I get emails about this from people saying, listen, you know, I'm having trouble getting through to some people. And I always write back and say, if you come up with anything magical, let me know, because I want the secret too. You know, almost all people in our branch of medicine report that the sick people who come to us, they want to get healthy, they change their ways, they're compliant, and the reason is they're scared. The problem is, what do you do with the person who's just slightly overweight or obese and doesn't have any comorbidities, or the person who just has early signs of heart disease? Those are the people that we have trouble getting through to. And so many of our overweight and obese members just seem kind of content to stay that way and wait for something catastrophic to happen, which it inevitably will. It's not a question of if, it's when and what. In some cases for overweight people, I think the inaction is fueled by the idea that maybe this is just all about appearance and not so much about health. But being overweight is a serious health risk, and it's dose dependent. The more overweight you are, the higher the risk. A new study, in fact, says that the risk of developing 10 common cancers is directly tied to how much you weigh. Researchers at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine looked at data for 5.25 million people, that's a big bunch, who were cancer-free and then followed for 7.5 years. And body mass index was a risk factor for 17 out of the 22 cancers that they looked at. For every unit of increase in BMI, there was a particularly marked increase in the risk of uterine cancer, gallbladder cancer, kidney, cervix, and leukemia. Higher BMI also increased the overall risk of liver, colon, ovarian, and breast cancer, but these cancers also are affected by sex and menopausal status. Based on the data, the researchers reported that excess weight could be responsible for 41% of uterine and 10% or more of gallbladder, liver, kidney, and colon cancers in the UK. That translates to 12,000 cases of cancer each and every year. Now, the bad news is that overweight people often don't correlate their weight with this type of health risk. The good news is that this data really further reinforces the idea that cancer is a preventable disease. I think part of the fear that people have about cancer is that they think it's bad luck. It's just it's genes. They're just waiting for cancer to come out of the sky and strike them. But when you really start to look at the specific factors that influence the development of cancer, you should feel a little more powerful and in control. You can prevent this from happening to you. All right, that's all for today. Have a great one. Pass this on to anybody who you think would enjoy watching it, and I'll be back to you on Thursday with more news.